All right. We are now semi live. Hi, I'm Kara858, and today we're bringing you episode 6 of Bonds Beyond Time, our Maze the Ascension campaign. We left off with a bit of a cliffhanger, but of course, we always want to give a huge thank you to the love and support we received for this campaign, especially for the family community. We're excited to be back to tell you this wonderful story. So let's just jump right in, introduce our cast, have them display who they are, who they're playing, and of course, projects that they're working on. So with that, we'll go ahead and start first with, of course, our wonderful ST Reeve. Reeve, would you like to talk about yourself and projects that you're working on?
So I'll go first. All right. Hello, everyone. I am at Big Dude Re on Twitter, where you can follow me to get a full list of all the content that I am involved in. But for tonight, over here on the Cookout, I will be guiding these lovely players through the world of darkness from the perspective of the freshly awakened. You can also find me here, I believe, live on Saturdays, yes, playing Avis, where we're getting into some drama right now, a lot of fun, as well as playing Ardris over in Rivenwood, and a number of other characters that you will soon meet or have already met. And I believe that is all that I have to say today.
Oh yes, safe to say last episode was a bit of a doozy. As we saw romance fly and carpet rides all over the place, a whole new... Sorry, absolutely stop. So, copyright strike. Next, we make our way down. We have the wonderful Melee Damage. You'd like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects that you're working on.
Hi there, I am Melee Damage. You can find me on all the socials at whatever they are, / Melee Damage. I do a bunch of stuff, a lot of different things, music, film, game stuff. So the best thing to do is just follow me on socials, because my brain is currently fried because of the holidays. So all of the things that I am doing just currently fell out of my head because I was asked a question. So, hi.
I so relate to that. Sometimes we get placed on the spot. You're just like, I have said this statement like 25 times, just for some reason, just diarrhea it all out. Like, why? Why does this happen now? Next, we have the wonderful Sharif Jackson. If you'd like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects that you're working on.
Hey, I'm Sharif, he, him, playing Gale When True, also he, him, Celestial Chorus Gangster. And the stuff I'm doing, as Melee said, yeah, it's kind of every time you're asked a question, like it does kind of just fall out. But if you go to sharifjackson.com, SHAREEF Jackson.com, I have a link called Gaming Projects that has links to all my projects there, including Rivals of Waterdeep, which will be having the season 11 finale at PAX. I think this will be aired after it happened, but we're still like pretty excited for our season finale at PAX Unplugged, which is in terms of our recording time tomorrow, which is pretty exciting. And you can also see the archives of my Kids on Bike show, Trouble in Techburg, Star Trek Adventures, whole bunch of other shows that I've done, and most recently finished Trials of Mount Tiamat, which was the Idle Champions game, where it was nuts. Our last game had literally 15 people on a Zoom call fighting Tiamat with B Dave trying to kill us all. So so make sure to check that out as well.
Yeah, I think that was perhaps the most amount of people I have ever seen in a TTRPG stream ever. Like, I thought 8 was going to be enough, but they was like, oh no, we're taking it to a whole new level with this game.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. So shout out to everybody that showed up for that, because that was nuts.
Next, make our way down. We have the wonderful Diana. If you'd like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects that you're working on.
Hi, I'm Diana. I am very sad to be just a disembodied voice today. You can find me at Super Dylan, like wherever. But if you want to know what I'm doing in the moment, it's always just me screaming on Twitter. So that's the best thing.
All right. Yes. For those who don't know, Diana, of course, you're going to be in PAX. Is that correct?
Yes. I'm gearing up for 4 panels this weekend, starting tomorrow.
Salute you in that endeavor.
Thank you.
No worries. Next, of course, we have the wonderful Michael. Michael, would you like to talk about yourself, where you're playing, and any projects?
Hello, I'm Michael or Nosferatu. I am playing Walter, the detective, and I am currently not working on anything, but I hope for that to change eventually, and you can find me on at Nosferatu TTRPG when it eventually changes. So,
All right.
it is open.
No worries. As for yours truly, I am Kara858. Of course, we have this content here. We have Riverwood Academy, Lords of Faerun that was previously mentioned. And there's a few new campaigns that will be coming out in the near future. Of course, one being one of our biggest was Gods of Color, which of course we're super excited. That should be coming out this January. So we'll definitely keep an eye out for that. I'm not going to go into all the projects because we've been working on so many different things. So if you want to keep up on our content, just make sure to follow us on Twitter at The Cookout TTRPG, where we will find all of our content as well as giveaways, Die Hard Dice content, and more. So with that said, we're just going to jump right into our intro video for episodes 6 of Boss Beyond Time.
Bones Beyond Time, a Mage the Ascension campaign. Ari, A-Red, Shay, Diesel, Walter, Galewind, Bones Beyond Time.
And with that, I return the story to you all. Specifically, looks like actually Tommy is frozen, so he won't be doing anything but trying to recover and gain control of himself. So, Mr. True, it is your turn.
Okay. So remind me again, it's just Sarah. That's the only person here that we're worried about.
Sarah has just recently attacked you, and you can see that Tommy is attempting. He has shifted into his kind of large ape form and is attempting to act, but you can see him kind of almost phasing in and out of reality at present. You don't know how long that will be the case, but at the moment he is not acting.
Okay. If he's not acting, I would like to try to bind him in some way. If he's not acting, I'd like to try to bind him in some way. Either if there is something in the area that I could try to bind him with. So is there any rope and such in the general area?
There isn't any rope, but there is, from the window that you came in, there is the... not window shades, but the
curtains?
Yes. I think that's what that was called. Yes, and you figure you could, fashion that into like a makeshift binding if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'd like to. Now, I don't know if Mage has the same rules of initiative, like a 6-second thing, as D&D does. But if there is time, I'd like to either be able to fashion that myself, or to be able to use force to throw it toward him at such a speed that it kind of wraps around him.
Okay, so what I will say for that is you can do either of those. If you attempt to kind of manually, twist it and kind of make something salvageable, it will take you 2 turns as you do it on this turn, and then you can use it on the next one, but it will be more durable. It'll be more reliable as an actual rope. You can attempt to use kind of forces to just kind of force it to hold together.
Yeah.
It's up to you. I will warn you, however, that would be a very potent use of vulgar magic.
Okay. I think the situation, I think I could afford using a turn. I could afford the 2-turn thing, I think. So I'm gonna take that path.
Okay, so you rush over and you begin to remove these curtains, and you see that they actually are made of kind of durable, if gaudy material, and you begin to kind of rip parts of that you don't need and begin to kind of fasten it and bind it together. And while you're doing that, it's going to be Sarah's turn.
Oh no.
Now that you all have separated, and because in our last session someone decided to use the light of creation on her, she's going to attempt to throw a ball of very hot infernal fire at you, May. As you see, she kind of concentrates black flame in the center of her hands and launches it at you. So I would like for you to make me a dexterity athletics roll. Let me double check the difficulty. I want to say it's 8, but let me be completely sure.
So I really shouldn't throw myself under the bus like this, but Ira did actually wrap their wings around me to keep me safe, so I would have been in the facility from that fireball coming through. So I just, what do I need to make that save, or is it just straight to the face of Ari? Of Ira.
What I will say is, in order to effectively dodge this, she would have to move out of the way. So what you can do is simply take the hit, in which case you would be able to protect Ari effectively. However, you won't be able to move or dodge it. Or you can attempt to move out of the way, in which case Ari would also have to attempt to move.
Here's a small question. Can Walter attempt some entropy to maybe make her miss?
Normally, yes, but it is currently Sarah's turn, so you aren't able to do it reflexively, unfortunately.
I have 5 successes to dodge.
Okay. With Jesus, you dodge very well. Actually, with 5 successes, what I will say is that you have the presence of mind to grab Ari as well, and kind of just not even fly out of the way, but kind of barrel roll each other into the nearby hallway. And you can see the ground where you all were standing erupts in black flame, and as you look at it, you see that the fire isn't so much as burning as it is decaying the thing that it hits. It's almost like a decrepitude of everything that it touches. And she huffs in anger and begins to prepare another one. But that will be the end of her turn. She's very upset with you all. Next, and speaking of which, Aaron, it is your turn.
Get
us up. Let's see. I just got a new dot in things, but I don't think that allows me to do anything helpful here. Can I throw my knives at her? I have knives. That's kind of like my jam.
Of course, you could always throw a knife at your target. That is always a wonderful option.
Yeah, I'm gonna aim right for her face. What do I roll for that?
That will be a Dex Athletics roll, and the difficulty on that will be 6, I believe. I don't think knives have a special modifier, so it'll be 6.
A very good roll for me. All right, Dex Athletic.
Okay, well, she is unable to avoid that. So narrate that for me.
Erin is gonna, she's got like a little vest that's kind of like usually strapped under her jacket, and some little belts and stuff. And she makes knives. So these are not like the most pristine looking, pretentious things in the world. They kind of look like absolutely lethal garbage, but they are very sharp and pointy nonetheless. Just chef's kiss. And she pulls them out, and she's going to kind of like fan a couple of them out and just like wing them, and kind of lead like right towards it and hope that she gets like one right square between the eyes, maybe a couple other places just for fun, maybe pin her up, who knows.
Okay, very interesting. As you pull back this knife and as you toss it at her, you see her kind of realize what's happening just before it would be too late to properly react. And you manage to kind of get her right in the lower jaw as this blade kind of digs in. And due to the kind of rough shapen way that this knife has been created, it's not quite meant for throwing, but it is kind of jagged and sharp in the right places that it gets lodged in that jaw, kind of almost keeping it shut. And that will be a considerable amount of damage. But she is not dead. She's hurt, but she's not dead. All right, is there anything else you want to do on your turn?
No, I'm just gonna make sure that I'm like still protecting Ari, and then yeah, that'll be the end.
All right, and with that, as this knife hits home, Ari, it is your turn.
So Ari pretty much have one job for themselves, which is keeping this were-gorilla stunned. So they're, of course, after it being, pushed outside and, pretty much barrel rolled into the aspect, when they see Iron get up, they slowly get to their feet themselves, still invisible, and they grab the chicken bones and start to shave in again. And they're going to continue to rub the bones. And keep them stunned and other content. So.
All right, let me double check. I believe that is a willpower roll.
Yes, which they have a penalty on, thankfully, due to Diana's snapshot.
Yes, that is the case. I almost forgot about that. All right, so you roll your RT for this, and it is going to be very vulgar, my good friend. So it'll be difficulty 6.
Yes, so I'm going to use 2 quintessence to bring it down to 4. Oh, let me make this X. So I know what this is. Okay. Oh my, right there. Difficulty 4. Whoop. Okay, all right. So I'm going to use a willpower to make that 3 successes.
3 successes. So 6 levels of damage. Okay, let's see how well our intrepid wolf does.
That's gonna be interesting.
So maybe only got to 2 successes. So he is actually... So as you attempt to change and lock him out, stuck in between reality, you get a hold of him and you are confident that it works, and then you suddenly feel this anger, this rage boil forward, and through pure anger he's able to kind of force his body solid, and then he looks at you and he's going to make an attack on you, my friend.
Wait, me? They can't see me. I'm invisible. I'm invisible.
Oh, he's hitting.
This is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt.
This is very much going to hurt. However, he's going to have a penalty because you are indeed invisible, so it'll be very difficult to hit. But he is also a werewolf, and they can do cool things. So we'll see.
This might be a problem.
Oh my goodness, he rolled 2 ones. So he is actually only going to get 1 success. So as he, just out of pure fury, he lashes out with these large, not so much as claws, as more like bones that are kind of sticking out of his fist. And as he slams it down, you feel pain radiate through your body, good friend, and you are going to take just straight strength and damage.
Oh,
you take 4.
Wait, I can't do dexterity athletics to dodge that?
Not in this case, because so for those of you who have not played 20th edition, on your turns you can either choose to dodge or attack, but not both.
Oh,
unless you have
okay.
a way of giving yourself extra action, such as time 3. There is another way to protect yourself, but at the moment, I'm afraid you do not have it.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you take 4 points of lethal damage.
Ooh, okay. Which was that? That's the X, right?
That's the X. Giant gorilla hands are not fun to be hit with. And as he
Okay.
kind of looks down, he sees the blood on his fist and knows that he managed to hit what he was aiming for. But that will be the end of his, well, it's the end of his action on your turn.
Okay.
All right, well, Shay Extraordinaire, it is your turn. Social media influencer extraordinaire.
Okay. Okay. So, what I want to do, I'm happy that the snapshot thing works a little bit, but I don't think it's a good idea to try that again. I would like to turn my music up to an absolutely obnoxious volume via my Bluetooth headphones, and I just want to like make unbearable sounds and kind of hopefully cause more distraction.
Okay. Okay. I would definitely say that is something you can do with forces. Do you have forces? I don't believe you have forces.
No, I was thinking of using Mind. That's what my Bluetooth headphones are connected to.
Okay. I will say you could do that to kind of create a mental distraction. It won't actually be a loud noise for the others. It's kind of like a high pitched noise. However, it will be vulgar, my friend. So that means your difficulty would be 6 in this case.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you need me to roll for you?
No, I do actually have dice with me. So that's
all right.
Let's see. Okay. All right. One success is a 10.
It was 1 success and it's a 10. In this case, the 10 does not give you a specialty because you don't have quite enough dots for that. However, 1 success. Unfortunately, 1 success is not enough for any actual damage, but it will be enough to give him a penalty, as it is a kind of a physical mental distraction, as it's kind of making his thoughts a little jumbled. So it'll be a 1 dice, a +1 difficulty.
Okay.
And
then, is anybody alone? Any of my friends alone, or like in this scene? I want to make sure that.
The most alone person at the moment would be Galen True, who is currently kind of off in the corner, like fastening a makeshift like rope out of curtains.
All right, perfect. I use the rest of my turn to go up to Galen True, and I see him making this rope, and I give him a thumbs up, and I say, "Great, yes, good," and that's my turn.
All right, Walter, it is your turn. You've seen the chaos. You've seen a knife come flying through the air. You see this large were-ape kind of get distracted for a moment from what its pursuit of some target. What would you like to do?
So Walter shot her 3 times in the chest. There was so Blaine got melted. She got shot 3 times in the chest by Walter. And then she got a knife in her face, and now Walter is still there, pointing the gun at her, and he's just gonna say, "Run." He's just gonna tell her to run.
Okay, roll me either charisma, intimidate, or manipulation, intimidate.
Do I get any modifiers because of how injured she is, or?
I will be based on the current situation. I will put that die. I'll put the difficulty at an even 5.
All right, so that would be, I'm gonna do manipulation because that's higher, and I don't have a spec in, and I don't have any dots in intimidate. That's gonna be fun. Maybe, no, it's not skill, it's talent. Dice pool. So no dice pool, but a difficulty of 5.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. Please give me at least 1. Hooray! Do I want to risk the last willpower? No.
Okay, as you say that, she looks at you and she's still visibly angry, but you can see her also kind of weighing the knife in her face, and she doesn't immediately begin moving, but you can see that she is currently kind of weighing her options at the moment.
So, and with that, Walter is gonna, while still pointing a gun at her, starts walking backwards towards the window because he's about done here.
Okay, and as you get closer to the window, you can now see about what looks to be like maybe a block and a half over the red lights of police sirens in the distance.
Does he still have an action to speak?
You can speak without an action. That's fine.
Yeah, he's just gonna say we need to get out, and he's gonna say all of us just to emphasize what he said to Sarah.
Diesel is backing up and is actually helping Galen to finish up with this makeshift rope, as well as is kind of getting close to the group. You have seen that Diesel has also helped Angela to her feet, and she looks overall okay. You can see her kind of testing her wrist. Tommy, on the other hand, is not very happy with you all. He is also aware.
Wait, Tommy just went, right? Because he attacked me on my turn.
Yes, he has an option as a wolf. Well, not a wolf, but in that splat to use one of his willpower points to lash out along with his rage points. So he was able to
that's
do
gross.
The other things of the darkness have their tricks and that they can use on you all. However, let me see if he is going to continue to attack you or not. He is going to cut his losses and dart further into the house, getting away from you all, leaving you all to your own devices for the moment. So what we are going to do here is you are still in combat, but you are aware that Sarah is still alive, though she seems to be very well wounded. Tommy who seems to be hurt, but very much capable of continuing the fight, has decided to attempt to make an exit. So the question is, what will you all like to do? You all can kind of move a bit more free form at the moment.
Walter is gonna try to repeat what he said to Sarah. Just say, run.
I think we should chase him.
Galen's got a rope.
I spent all this time with these curtains. Let's chase him.
No, Walter's gonna stop Galen. We were here he was gonna say it not very calmly because he's adrenaline pumping, but I have to be calm because of politeness. He's gonna say we are here for Angela, not to hunt gorillas. We need to move.
He has information. He must know something.
I don't care. The cops are on their way, and we need to keep Angela safe. So move.
All right.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. Go
I'm
ahead.
kind of with you, Galen. We came this far, and you have this rope, and he probably does have answers.
And with that, Walter's gonna turn to Shay, look at her burns, and just stare her down because he's not in the mood to play hero. There is this anger in his eyes, just he's done.
Galen is, unless he is being resisted, he is going to start moving toward the direction that Tommy ran into the house.
Walter's gonna try to stop him. He's gonna stop them. He's gonna try to stop them both.
All right, so we are going to enter opposed roles. However, in this case, if you wish to attempt to stop both of them, you will have to split your die pool. So for this is actually going to be your choice of either strength plus brawl or dex plus athletics to kind of, impose
He's
yourself.
not gonna do neither. He's just gonna point his gun at them and say, "We are leaving now."
Well, that is an entirely different situation with entirely different results.
He's done.
I will let you all handle that one.
Gaelwyn is still going to run. He does not believe that one of these people that he's been with will shoot him. So I will still attempt to make that dex athletics.
Walter's gonna shoot. He will do what's needed to keep these people safe, whether they like it or not.
By killing us.
By killing us, you're gonna shoot.
No,
You're gonna keep them safe.
He's gonna intentionally miss, but he's gonna fire off a shot.
Okay, so if your goal isn't to hit, but to kind of intimidate, I will say either give me charisma or manipulation plus intimidate. And you are shooting at them, so I will say the difficulty will be reduced from 6 to 4. And both Gaelwind and Shay, you can make me willpower rolls at difficulty 7, and you need at least 2 successes. And this is your permanent willpower, not your temporary willpower.
Thank you.
Sarah is leaving at the moment. How many did you get, Shay?
You said 7, correct?
Yeah.
7.
Can you do a willpower roll on roll 20? I can't.
Yes, there is a willpower button at the very top of your sheet. It is next to initiative, Arte, willpower.
It's the third
Oh,
one.
all right. Okay, got it. Sweet.
And real quick before Sarah leaves, if Iron is close enough, and just to be clear, she is the one that I threw the knives at, correct?
Yes, but she has managed to remove the knife, but there is a very much a serious, not even so much as a cut, it's like just a chunk of, minor warnings of maybe gross stuff now. Kind of a portion of her face.
I'm going to try and grab her, and I'm going to be like, you dropped this, and I'm going to put the knife back in.
Not sure how, but I've got 5 successes.
Okay,
That's pretty
okay,
amazing.
so a lot of things are happening at the moment, so we'll break these down slowly. But so to resolve for you, Gail, for you have almost an absolute faith that Walter would not actually hit you. So as you hear it, it doesn't even entirely ping you as anything to be concerned about in the first place, and you are undeterred in your pursuit of Tommy. What did you roll, Shay?
I got 3 successes.
3 successes. You are a bit more shaken as you see this bullet hit the ground near the both of you, but you see Gaelwyn still moving, and you're able to kind of center yourself and go after Tommy.
If that's the case, Walter's just gonna say to Aaron and Ari, get Angela safe. Drive off if you drive off. We'll find a way back. And he's gonna go after Gaelwind and Shay.
Okay. And as for Aaron, so as you go to stab Sarah again, first of all, she is unable to avoid you, as the crippling pain she is in makes the roll pretty much impossible. And as you go to stab into her again, you see her eyes open wide as she just kind of clutches at her face before collapsing to her knees and kind of falling onto her face, and she does not move.
All right, one less person we have to worry about.
Yeah.
Wait, kind of, as Walter walks, he kind of looks. It's like he has the look of, "What have you done?"
To
So,
be fair, she attacked us first.
And Walter just keeps walking after Rielwyn and Shay.
so Ari, of course, had took that 4 points of lethal damage. So Ari is not feeling so good at the moment. So I think as they tried to like push themselves off the ground, like probably blood dripping from like the side of their face and their nose and their eyes looking a little wobbly, like. Do they still see the were-gorilla?
But you do not. And actually, because Ari is a child, I need for you to make me a willpower roll, please. Difficulty 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Difficulty 8. So that's just by the remaining willpower I have left,
No.
or okay.
Permanent willpower.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
The full dice range. Because unfortunately, seeing people die in front of you is not good.
Yeah.
Not good for a young boy.
Yeah, I got better than that. Okay, all right. That is 2 successes.
Okay, but you definitely feel a little numb, for Ari's sake, for lack of a better word, as you see this woman collapse in front of you from what your sister did. But you are able to kind of concentrate and keep yourself together, and you feel the pain beginning to rush in as you're looking at your own. Actually, you can't see yourself, so you feel the pain, but you're unable to see where it's. All right, yeah, you have correspondence. You can't see yourself. Yeah, I was right. So you looking, kind of using this awareness, you are aware of the injury in kind of like an abstract sense, and as that pain rushes in, you realize that you are in a lot of trouble.
So they're going to kind of like stumble over to where Iron is. This is Iron, a piece.
Oh, what are you?
It hurts. It hurt.
Aaron will try to use heal others on Ari.
And how are you going to do that?
She'll kind of like hold her locket in between her hands and think and kind of say her sacred little chants to herself, and she'll put her hand out towards Ari.
Okay, go for it. You can roll that for me. Difficulty 7, because it is vulgar magic. Don't forget to add your paradox points to everyone who's been doing your vulgar magic.
Wait, come again with that?
If you've done vulgar magic, on a success, you get 1 point of paradox. On a failure, I will let you know how many points you get.
And I'm rolling Arte, correct?
Yes, you are. One success. It's taking time, and you're concentrating, and you're trying to heal this injury, but it is difficult, and unfortunately, you aren't able to heal at any points of damage at this moment. You are.
I'm trying, Ari. I'm sorry.
Can you pick me up?
Yeah. And Iron will put her arms out.
Yeah, Ari would kind of like slam forward, looking down at the body, staring at it for a bit before like wrapping their arms around her, and like, I don't like this.
She tried to hurt you.
No, I mean it hurts. Oh, it hurts.
All right, and at this moment, because we are breaking down into 2 separate chase scenes here. So we are going to use the 3 and out rule. It says as half of your group needs to attempt to escape from the authorities, the other is attempting to trace down a large great ape man, really. So what I need from all of you is to give me a dexterity athletics roll, difficulty 6. You would need to succeed on two of three of the rolls, at least 2 or 3, or we'll see what happens, what the consequences are.
That's gonna be funny.
Is it possible
Yes.
for me to use forces to make us go a little bit faster?
I will warn you, however, at this point you are no longer in a confined space, which means witnesses are now a problem.
Oh. Oh, well.
All
Well,
right, well, I only got 1 success.
I got 0.
Oh, jeez.
ooh.
I mean, Walter is not chasing after the gorilla. Walter is trying to stop the 2 idiots trying to get themselves killed.
So, can we fly? Can we, if we fly away, does that make it a bit easier?
It would make getting away easier if you just use your own wings. That would have its own complications, its own consequences.
Oh.
However, if you are using forces to speed yourself up, that would be vulgar.
Yeah.
Vulgar magic still.
Well, so the wings, of course, would make we don't have to worry about that. And Ari is still invisible, so they wouldn't be able to see if they flew away, right?
They wouldn't see you, but they would still see the effect of your magic if you use it on Aaron, which would still count as witnesses. If you used it on yourself, it wouldn't. But yes, if you are magicking someone else, then the witness effect will apply.
Okay, so then in that case, Ari's gonna look to Iron and says, "Oh, what should we do?"
Honestly, I don't know. Mari, I thought I was doing the right thing a minute ago, and apparently that was not the right thing.
No, you did the right thing. I guess we just gotta go now.
Yeah, Walter said that you should drive off, so there is that.
So I guess
All right.
we run.
I feel bad about not knowing where the others are, but yeah, okay, let's run. And yeah, she'll book it. And if she runs faster than Ari, then she'll keep holding him and she'll run.
Yes, actually, with your unique blend of things, you run at an incredible pace of 22 feet plus. Do you run at 37 yards per round? I don't feel like doing the count. You run really fast. I don't feel like doing math or translating that to feet. You're really fast. So what I will say is that will negate the penalty that would have been there for carrying Ari because of how quick you are. But you have to make the dexterity athletics roll for me.
Okay. Wait. So we both have to make it, right?
No, if you're just being carried, then you would have to make the roll as you're not really doing anything.
Cool, because they're just like, I don't want to walk.
What is the difficulty?
6. Jesus. Okay, you grab hold of Ari, who is invisible at the moment, which makes it kind of like weird as you're picking up something you can't see, and just make it through a dead sprint through the. Are you going out the window you all came in? Or are you trying to find a different exit?
Does it look safe to go back out the window we came in, or was like that the direction that like heard the sirens coming from? Or...
You could see from that window that the police are coming toward you in that direction, but that is also where your vehicles are.
All right, then I will head back towards the cars.
All right. With 5 successes, I will say you are easily able to make it to the cars just as you see the police cars start to arrive. You see them starting to get out and react to what's happening. And at that point, I need for you to make me another roll. And we're going to cut over to the rest of our crew here. Mr. Galewind, Mr. Walter, and Shay. Shay, what did you roll on the dexterity athletics roll?
Oh, I got. Oh, hang on. Nothing. I didn't roll that.
Nothing.
Uh,
Okay, that's good. That's good.
sorry. What?
I was going to say that again.
Dexterity athletics, you said, right?
Yes.
Diff 7?
Diff 6, not Diff 7.
Diff 6? That's 4 successes. That's 4 out of 4, and one's a 10. Boom.
Wait, how many successes? What? How did you roll so many? Jesus. All right, well, Shay has been doing her yoga recently.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's been very useful.
Walter just out of shape, wheezing.
Okay, so as Galen and Walter are attempting to chase after Tommy, who is still in his large form, the two of you are definitely too slow, and as you're moving, you can see him getting further and further away. And then from between both of you, very what is that, Captain America, kind of just bolts past the two of you, and you are gaining ground on this large ape man at an astonishing pace. Almost supernatural. Almost supernatural how this looks. There's a very preppy looking woman chasing a giant.
I jog. I like to go for a morning run. I take a sip of water from my hydro flask as I pass Galen through, and I look at him.
No, and meanwhile Walter is just screaming, "You idiots!"
It is working. Right. Well,
so this is definitely like a on your left moment.
Yes. Very much. Like it is almost comical as you all are moving. Very much like a supernatural robot. She is just and it's not even so much as like a fast speed when she's doing it. It's just very consistent and unyielding. That's what I'll say. Very, very frightening to look at, to be honest. All right, second round of rolls. Everyone, give me the same roll again and tell me what you get.
I have made an error in judgment.
So Shay is essentially T1000.
Yeah.
We're making the same roll?
Still difficulty. Yep, still difficulty 6.
Okay.
Right, well, I didn't do too much better. 2 successes.
And Walter got 1.
Yeah, I guess Galen's age, his age is catching up to him.
The Walter is just yelling, "Stop, you idiots!"
Wait.
I mean, he's probably not saying idiots. He's probably way more vulgar. But it's like he wants you to stop.
Do we have to make it, or are we safe because we're inside the car?
Actually, what I will say is for you, Aaron, because you're driving now, not doing so, you would make a dexterity drive roll with the same difficulty, not dexterity athletics.
I don't even know if I have drive, but I have very good dex.
Middle column.
I do have a little bit of drive. Yay!
Yeah, got some drive.
Wow. Very Cotter.
Very frightening to look at. It's very unnerving, and she just kind of just petrifies.
I think the other thing is that Galen is literally thinks he's going as fast as he can, so he's like probably huffing and puffing a little bit. And it makes
Meanwhile, Walter
worse.
behind him just wheezing.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I will say. How many did you roll, Shane?
3 this time.
3 that time? Okay. So what I will say, Gelwood and Walter, you both are putting everything you can into keeping up, but you just see the gap between you all and your target increasing just as you get back to kind of a wooded area. And you realize you will not be able to keep up. As both Tommy and who is starting to gain distance on Shay as they enter this kind of tree line. You both realize you aren't going to be able to keep up with them. And so what I will say, the both of you now need to take precautions to not be caught by the authorities. So how are you all going to manage that?
Arcane.
Okay, that will help you.
Arcane and stuff. And he doesn't want to yell yet. But if Galewind looks at Walter, there is just this anger bubbling behind his eyes. Just like, it's like he's getting to a boiling point.
Yeah, and Galewind will look at Walter and say, yes, it's upsetting that we could not catch the ape man.
And he starts screaming, You idiot! We have a child under our care and you want to go play hero? Are you that fucking stupid? Are you that desperate? I already lost one person to this life. I'm not losing another one. And it's like he pauses.
You must trust the rest of them. They will get injured.
Do something stupid like this again, and I'm dragging you behind the shed. Understand, we have a child that we need to look after. Do you understand me?
Your anger is
Oh, this is beyond anger.
Unrequisited.
Oh, it's very requisite. We have a child we need to take care of, and you want to go off and play hero?
So, also as you're saying this, Galewin's hands are on his knees, and he is breathing very hard after.
And he's continuing. Do you want to play hero?
Trying to run. So he's like looking down as you're saying this.
And Walter keeps going. Do you want to play hero? Is that really something you want to do?
This is not about playing hero.
What is it about then?
Getting as much information as we can. We were unfortunate this time, but you have to take risks.
Yeah, I have to take risks because I have some idea what will happen. You don't.
We all have to take risks. We're a team.
I'm here so you don't have to make the calls that I have to, okay? I can see what will happen. Do you know how many things I've seen before we came to this conclusion? So many. Look, we need to get out of here.
And while this conversation is happening, our camera is going to cut to a rapidly speeding up car that is attempting to evade the authorities. With 4 successes on your drive roll, you are able to get a good distance on them. So the next thing you have to decide, the 4 of you, because Diesel, Ed, and Zena are with you. Where are you going?
Let's see. How familiar would Erin be with this area? Like, I mean, she's kind of like a street rat. Does she know of any like hidden like alleys or any like where there would be like a hideout that she knows that like nobody goes? Like, what would I roll for that? Like a streetwise or something? Like,
yeah, I would say roll a wit streetwise roll for that knowledge.
that is not a great roll for me, but I will try.
It's all we can do. All we can do.
I got a 7 and an 8.
Okay, you don't know this area too well, but you know there are some kind of old abandoned buildings where some other people who are either homeless or looking to not be found have kind of hidden out. Those people usually aren't actively being pursued, but you figure those may be your best bet.
She'll head towards that area and kind of like look for a place to hide the car along the way.
Okay. I will say, with those 2 successes, you could easily find kind of like a secluded area to abandon your car.
Yeah, and then with a little bit of that life magic, she might transform herself just to look a little different, so that like she doesn't actually like. She's usually got all the tattoos and stuff on her face, and it's kind of like really intimidating. So she'll just kind of try and make herself look a little bit more plain Jane.
Okay. Are you attempting to just alter your appearance, or are you trying to lower your appearance stat?
Alter my appearance so that like if any cops saw me leave, they wouldn't be able to recognize me. So which one of those?
I would say if you're simply just trying to be not recognized, just altering your appearance would be simpler. Just kind of doing basic cosmetic, kind of the equivalent of makeup, basically. However, if you want like a new face, that would be a bit more difficult.
I'm gonna try the new face thing. We'll go for that one, just because, like, they got those face scanners and stuff now. Like, just like little things like makeup aren't gonna make a difference. Like, you got to change the bridge of your nose and stuff around.
Okay, all right. And how are you gonna do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna use alter self, and she's just gonna kind of like duck her head down and kind of pull her hoodie over her head, and then when she comes back up, she's gonna look very different and just kind of plain.
Okay, so that's still gonna be vulgar, I'm afraid. Unfortunately,
that one that Jesus let me do it though. All right.
It'll be vulgar without witnesses, so there's no one watching you. But kind of plastic surgery by dipping down, I'm afraid it's still gonna be vulgar. And I believe you are using Life 3 for this, or are you trying to use the Life 2 version? The Life 3 one will be a bit more, I guess, complete. It'll be a bit stronger of an effect. But Life 2 may be a little easier for you.
We'll go ahead and try Life 3, just because, again, trying to do this right. Anything worth doing right.
All right, difficulty 7.
I like how you said nobody but Jesus saw her.
Oh, okay. So, good news. Good news. You don't do anything. You don't make any mistakes. However, the changes you make aren't quite as drastic as you are wanting. It would be more difficult for someone to notice you, but it won't be quite as hard as you are kind of wanting. And for my sake, how many points of paradox do you have at the moment?
It is 1 point of paradox for each use of the vulgar magic, correct?
That is correct.
I have 2, I believe.
2? You have 2 overall?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you have made these changes. They aren't as drastic as you wanted. What would you like to do now? What is your plan?
I'm gonna try and get Ari into this hideout place, and kind of like sneak around through the back and kind of like scope as we go to make sure that like nobody suspect is around this place.
Okay. But as you take your time to carry Ari inside, you do find It's pretty empty. The building itself looks like it may have been like an office building at some point. There are still some remains, some abandoned desks and things like that, but it appears to be empty.
Cool. I'm gonna set Ari like down somewhere. Ari, are you all right? Are you feeling any better now that we're like away from the situation? Things are a little calm.
No, he hit me. You can't see it, but and what they'll do is so they can see is what they'll blow out snot blood from their nose. So therefore, when the snot comes out of the ground and no longer be invisible, and you just see a splurt of blood on the hind. I was like, it's hard to breathe.
I just want to state for the record, you can end it magical effect at any time.
Oh, I can? Oh.
Anytime.
Oh, okay.
It's not a permanent. You never made it permanent in that way, so you could just not be invisible. But you can also do the nose of blood thing too. Your option. Fully your choice.
In that case, they'll go ahead, and especially if they believe that they're safe, they'll go ahead and take off the visibility, and then you could be able to see that they are pretty close to death.
So you could see his right leg appears to have been broken in a few different places, and it is not immediately life-threatening, but if not treated, it could be a major problem.
Ren will try again to she'll kind of like look him over, and if there's like anything that like looks like it's easily fixable by her, like any kind of dislocated anything that like should be popped back into place, she'll try and like do that, and at the same time she's gonna try and use the life again, like heal others.
All right, difficulty 7.
It's so rough.
The
cannot watch my sibling
price of power. That is the price of power. 2 successes. This time you see, as you concentrate, bones beginning to kind of reorganize and fit themselves properly. You see some of the bigger problems, the bigger breaks aren't quite healing as quick, but it is helping. And you are going to regain, I believe, 2 levels worth of damage. Yes, 2 levels worth of damage.
So does that turn those 2 from lethal to bashing, or does it turn like one lethal completely gone? Or does it remove both of those?
2 levels of lethal have been healed.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So you move up the track. You should be like, I think just 2 now.
Just 2, yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So now I'm at injured. Wait, no?
Yep. You had 4, so you should be at the hurt status.
Yeah, hurt status. Okay, perfect. I was like, okay, perfect. Like, oh,
okay.
That feels better. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad it worked this time. Maybe you should just relax here for a bit, take a nap. I'll try to like send a message to the others real quick and let them know where we're at.
Okay. Good night. And they're out on the sofa.
And Irene will send. She'll send a text to probably Walter and say I'm at a safe location.
As you go to send this message, our camera is going to refocus as we see an interesting sight as we find ourselves following a woman who has now at this point continued chasing a very large gorilla panda into the trees. Shay, you have looked around and you have noticed at the moment you are the only one still in pursuit, and you see that he has begun to take a full advantage of his size and has kind of grabbed onto the trees and are using them to pull himself forward, and he is starting to gain some distance on you. What would you like to do?
I once I had realized that Galen was no longer following behind me, and I assume I hear screaming behind me. So I will reluctantly stop and turn around. But what I would like to do is before I fully leave the scene and turn back to find Galen and Walter, I would just like to see if I can like look for signs of that he has left behind in these woods, like as he's swinging away. Like I kind of want to take it in an attempt to try to remember for the future.
Unfortunate. Well, I will say your mind can help you with that. So what I will say is give me a perception plus investigation roll to see how many details of the moment you can kind of lock into your memory at difficulty 6.
Okay, I got 2 successes, 1 to 10.
I don't believe you have any new. Okay, but you take some time, you kind of look around, and there you are kind of going back through your mind looking for patterns, and you're pretty confident. It'll take you some time to kind of piece through, what information you're remembering that's going to be useful, but you feel pretty confident that you've gained some information that will help you out later. What I will say is you have gained a bonus to a attempted research roll later to use this information to your advantage, as I don't want to get too specific at the moment because I don't know exactly what you're trying to do. But yeah, that's what you've gained as you take the time to look around and understand and familiarize yourself with what has happened.
And then I just walk back to the island is, and I offer him my water bottle.
She looks completely fine, by the way, not winded at all.
Amazing.
I am like soaked in blood. I probably have like thin parts of my hair, and I just walk by and I give the water bottle to Galen too, and I whisper yell at Walter. Yeah.
I think. Wait, what?
Sorry, we couldn't catch that.
You shot at us.
And he kind of looks at her. And he says, and he doesn't say anything, but you can say that they can see there's like this realization of, oh no, is the face that he makes, like he even surprised himself that he did that almost. And he's kind of wheezing as well, and he's gonna just pull out his pack of cigarettes and light one up. It's like
That's like the remedy after a long.
it's like takes a drag and says, "We need to get out of here now."
Yes. Let's. Well, we shouldn't go back toward the house. They will probably be looking for us. So
wait a minute. You arrived in a car, right?
Yes.
Was someone with you?
Yes.
Who?
The
Yuji?
person who I forgot. Yes, Yuji.
He kind of see he kind of does like the I hope she drove off when she saw the cops.
Actually do not know because I just ran. I ran out the car toward you.
And he kind of just does this again. It's like.
But
Right.
I get the sense that Yuji
She's
is
competent.
pretty street smart, so I imagine that they were able to get away.
I hope so. Just
Can I use I believe with even I have one dot in correspondence. Can I use that to get a sense of where, if there are any authorities that are approaching us, or like, do they seem like they're aware of us, or are they kind of just searching around looking for things? Like, you know what I mean?
A single point of correspondence, you would be able to get a good picture of your immediate surroundings, but no further than that.
Okay.
What about Waters too?
With correspondence too, you could look a bit further than that. Yeah.
Yeah, so Walter's gonna be like, hold on a second. And he's gonna look in the distance and try to do, just look how far the cops are, if any. If they're approaching, maybe.
You're just looking in that direction?
He's looking in the direction of the house that he knows the police were arriving. Actually,
What is the magical part of that?
hold on, let me look at my. Yeah, so he's gonna take. He's gonna kind of, as he's kind of smoking, he's gonna put out the cigarette, and he's gonna use it to, with the ash, he's gonna kind of make a symbol on like a geometric symbol on like a piece of ground that's like tougher, and he will draw what looks like an eye, a symbol of an eye, and he's going to focus on that to kind of give himself a view of where they were, the entrance to the front of the mansion where they parked the cars originally, to see what it looks like, if the cops are still there or if they went somewhere else.
All right, that is going to be vulgar, unfortunately for you, but so it'd be difficulty 6.
Oh, wow, yeah, okay.
Hey, what is not vulgar? My God.
Well, I mean, if you're drawing an eye on the ground, let me just make sure I'm understood. If you're drawing like an eye on the ground to get like an actual image of real things, I'm afraid that will.
It's just a cute eye, though. It's an adorable eye. It's like a beautiful, nice lashes.
Reality does not quite concern itself with how good of drawing it is. It is still vulgar, I am afraid. With one success, you were able to get kind of a very brief glimpse, and you all can see this since the image isn't, directly projected into your mind. The police seem to be focused on the house as a whole. Like, you see that there are now more police cars there. You get a glimpse of other safety people, EMS services, things like that, and they are kind of moving throughout the house and seeing what happened. However, with only one success, you aren't able to get a very long look, kind of like a brief.
So they're inside the house.
Yes.
Could Walter see the outside? Is one of the cars still there? If he could see that.
Roll a perception check for me. Perception awareness.
Oh boy, do I have any? I think I have alertness and awareness, and I have perception. All right, so that's.
Or alertness, I would say. You can either or. Perception awareness or alertness.
It's both the same. I'm gonna.
Can I roll that as well, or would that just be him because of his correspondence?
I would say you can roll it too. Yes, 6. I would say you can roll it too. I would say you and Shay could roll it too, since the image is.
Oh boy. Finally, the green number.
Perception.
What was the roll?
Perception, alertness, or awareness.
And what's the difficulty on that?
6.
6. All right.
Ooh! Oh, Wow.
That
Oh.
is.
That's the truth.
Jesus Christ.
It's the age.
So as you are attempting to
Broken
get
the
a
rules
look,
of physics.
Somehow.
as you are attempting to kind of get a good look at it, you kind of step forward to look closer, and you like kick dirt over the eye, which ends the projection earlier than it was supposed to.
Sorry.
So unfortunately, this is the only thing you all will be seeing today. But you may still continue. What did you get, Shane?
I got one success this time, but it wasn't 10, but just one.
Okay. All right. So so Walter, you are pretty confident. There is still a car there, but it is the car that you recognize that Diesel drove. Yeah, I'm trying to remember how many cars y'all had. Yeah, it's the one that Diesel drove. You do not see any other car that wasn't there when you all first arrived. But with one success, you had a hard time looking, honestly, but you don't think you saw any of your cars still there.
And Oliver is gonna do the smart thing and say, yeah, let's just sneak our way back around to the cars. Worst case scenario, I can just play the private detective part and we get out of here.
It is at that moment, as you all are beginning your walk back, that you receive a text message from Aaron letting you all know where you are, where they are. You all aren't directly sure where that is in relation to you, but you could probably find it. And I believe now is as good a time as any for us to take a break. And with that, as our group of mages, our cabal, is attempting to regather together after an explosive afternoon of events, we find our story focusing in on Aaron. Just as you are finishing up the message to your friends and you're taking a moment to kind of center yourself and really come to terms with everything that has happened, you realize that Ari is healed somewhat. He is out of the immediate danger, but he will need more attention. You don't know how many of your friends are free or if they all got away or whatever happened to them. And as you are preparing yourself to take a new action, to decide what your next steps will be, you turn around, and for a moment, you are completely confused as you find yourself, instead of standing in the abandoned building where you left your brother, you are standing in a wide open grassy field. And as you look around, you see the sun is beating on you, and you find yourself not wearing the clothes you were before, but instead of a 17th century kind of dress-like thing, something you've only seen in old books and journals, or maybe some old reenactment movies. And you look around and you see that their dress has been ripped in several places. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna journey forward to see what else is around here. Do I hear anything?
You stop and you trying to focus. You realize a few things. You feel a sense of deja vu, like a memory that is very foggy to you, but this place seems familiar. And as you kind of reflect on that, you begin to hear the sounds of footsteps, of people trampling through the trees and the brush. And as you look around, you see a small group of women, maybe it looks to be like 4 of them, probably not any older than 15 or 16. What would you like to do?
I'll shout out to them. Hey, you guys.
As you say that, you see they all kind of freeze up for a moment before looking around, and you see the taller one, a darker skinned woman whose hair is kind of tied, and you see what it clearly was intended to be kind of a very prim and proper look, but has been torn apart by branches and trees. And she looks at you, and then she comes moving towards you, and the others follow behind you. They look at you, and they goes, there you are. We should keep moving, right? I mean, they can't be too far behind us. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine, but yeah, keep moving. That sounds like a plan.
And they all begin to move through the forest, and you look back for a second, and you begin to hear the faint sounds of dogs. What do you do?
Let's see. Dogs. Am I good with animals? I do not know. Irene will just ask, do we know those dogs? Are those wild wolves? Are they coming after us? Is that like a thing we should be concerned about?
And the taller woman who looked at you before, she looks at you confused, and she listens for a while, and the sounds of the dogs get closer, and you see her eyes go wide before she grabs the two younger girls' hands and begins to attempt to move through the trees faster, but you can see that the branches are very visibly catching on the dress she's wearing, making it difficult. She goes, "Of course they're not with us. We have to move. They'll... We have to get away before they catch up. Come on, let's go." Are you all right? Did you hit your head?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Just wanted to clarify that it was those dogs. Okay, gotcha. And Irene will, how many of them are there, did you say?
4.
4. She will look for like the 2 smallest, skinniest ones that look like they're having the hardest time, and she'll grab them and like try to take off.
You are able to grab, looks like 2 young girls, maybe 10 or 12. And they aren't very heavy, though. You do find that the dress they're wearing to be kind of troublesome to like carry, but you're able to do it, and you're moving. And as you're attempting to move through the grass, you begin to hear the sounds of these dogs getting closer, and then you begin to pick out voices screaming behind you. Some of them, "Hurry up! Well, you got to catch up to them before they get away. The river's up ahead." And hear them beginning to gain on you. And you look back and you begin to see the faint lights of torches behind you. And you realize you don't know if you'll be able to outrun them.
Oh, wow. Irene, as fast as she's moving, is gonna stop for just a quick second and try and take off her giant cumbersome dress and like throw it in a different direction to try and like throw them off the scent of the trail than like what they're running in, so that, you know, maybe they get the sniffles and go right instead of left.
Okay, so you're not able to fully take it off, but you're able to kind of rip the like poofier parts off. Forgive me, I don't know what that's called on the dress, but you know, I think we all get it. And you're able to kind of toss it to the sides, and the others do kind of copy you, and you are moving a bit faster now, though you do see that the trees are now kind of cutting up the legs of the other women, and you begin to hear the group getting closer. Do you wish to continue running, or do you want to hide?
Well, I guess I will. Ooh, that's a rough decision. How do the other members that I'm not carrying look? Do they look like they're tired and like ready to call it quits, or do they look like they still got it in them?
They look visibly exhausted, but you can see the exhaustion and the fear warring between them.
Okay, I will hide because they are very tired. So yeah, don't want to lose any of them.
You attempt, and you are able to kind of find an area of bushes and things like that, and you all get as low as you can to the ground, and you wait, and you wait for what feels like forever, but you realize it's only been a few minutes, and the sounds of the dog seem to trail off after a while, and the forest gets quiet.
The ones that I was holding, I will try to use my ability to heal them if I can. I will like check them out for scrapes and bruises and stuff.
As you attempt to kind of call on the magic, you attempt to see what you can do. What is Aaron thinking when she's trying to do that?
How much this kind of reminds her of taking care of Ari when they're in battle. It's a constant balance between go and stop because it's fight and then check on Ari, fight, check on Ari. So it's kind of what she's used to.
As you attempt to command the magic, kind of direct your intent, it doesn't come. The wounds do not heal.
Then she will look at them and go, do you guys hear anything? I don't hear anything else.
No, I don't. I don't think so. Maybe we should continue. The other sisters, they said they had a place nearby that we could hide from the hunters.
That sounds like a good idea. I also heard something about a river. Maybe if that's along the way, we should clean up some of these wounds so they don't get infected.
The only river I know about is west of here, but the grove is to the north. Which way do you think we should go?
Then definitely to the north. Let's head that way, as that sounds safer.
Okay. And as you all gather your will about you and you begin to move, you see the sun begin to set. And as you're looking around, as someone who's used to kind of surviving, it begins to hit you. The sun is setting far too quickly. You gather when you arrived here in this place, it was maybe midday. Now it looks like it's almost late evening. What do you want to do?
He just keeps moving forward. She'll keep following them.
Okay. You all are making your way deeper into the forest, and you see laid out in front of you the vines and trees begin to get more and more thick as night falls, and you begin to hear the sounds of the forest, the calling of wolves, the flying of silent birds, and it sounds strangely soothing to you. And as you begin to listen to it, you can hear that the sounds are saying something, but you're having a hard time understanding it.
She'll try and meditate on it as they walk and try to see if she can hone into it, since she is usually good with communication.
Okay. And as you attempt to focus, not entirely sure what it is you're focusing on, you attempt to hear what the forest is saying, and you pick out a sentence, a phrase, a few words. You hear a, "Who are you?" And it seems to be coming from everywhere around you all at once.
She'll just say her name.
The voices don't stop.
Hey guys, do any of you hear that? Something saying, "Who are you?"
No, not really. Are you sure you're all right?
Yeah, just real quick, maybe everyone state your name and an affiliation that you have. I don't.
They kind of look at you confused, and they each begin to recite their names. And as they do so, you see them all reach for like a pendant underneath their dress in this area. I forget what that's called. And they say something, but as you try to hear what it is they're saying, it sounds garbled, almost as if it's underwater when they say it. And they look at you, right? All right, are we ready to go?
I ran a look for the same necklace.
As you reach down, you are wearing one. It looks like a pentagram.
Is it like anything that would have meaning to Irene? Like, would she recognize this in any way?
You've seen it before. You recognize the symbol, and sometimes if you're studying with the people who first showed you your magic, you recognize it's fairly common for witches and witchcraft.
All right. She'll keep following.
Right. As you follow, night begins to fall, and you end up finding yourselves crossing a open field. And as you look back to catch one of the younger girls who kind of trips over a set of trees, you see in the distance a man walking towards you. He seems to be wearing kind of looks like a large, cumbersome coat, and he has something in his hand, but you can't tell what it is. What do you do?
I kind of rush in front of the others to like protect them because I don't know if this guy means us harm or like it's trying to help us. So I will stand in front and I will try to talk to the guy.
What do you say?
You, stranger guy, who are you?
I am no one important. I am here to bring refuge and safety to all. And he keeps walking.
Do any of you guys know him? Is that the person that we're supposed to be meeting? Like, that runs this safe haven?
The others stare and begin to back away slowly.
What are they staring at? Me or something behind me?
The man.
I will back away with them. And I can't, and so my powers don't seem to work in here. I'll try anyways to use correspondence to see if I can like get a vibe off of this guy, like read his thoughts or something.
As you attempt to reach out to the magic and command it to obey, it doesn't respond. He's about halfway as close to you, and you begin to hear the trees and the night almost, as it's almost as if it's tangible to you, and it's not seeking to harm or help you. It seems like it's just almost this neutral presence. You hear a voice whispering to you again. What are you?
She'll say witches under her breath.
The voices continue. The man is now about halfway to you.
She'll say a warrior, and she'll go after this guy.
All right. As you go, you attempt to get closer, and as you go to bring your hand up, the man looks at you, and you see now that in his hand is what looks to be like a silver crucifix. And he begins to pray, and as he does, golden light begins to emanate from him, and it burns. You feel pain flying every part of you as you get closer. What do you do?
I mean, am I able to push through it, or does it stop me in my tracks?
You can try. You feel intense burning spreading through you, but it isn't physically stopping you from going forward.
I'll rough it out, and she's really Dexy. So I'm gonna try and fight him. Like, I'm gonna try and grapple him, throw him to the ground, snap some things.
Okay. As you try to get closer, you feel, as you get closer to this light, it begins to feel as if something is almost pushing you down as you move closer. And you hear the voices again, this time distant, almost as if they're speaking to you from across a great distance. And this time it sounds like multiple people, multiple women, all speaking at once. Who are you? What are you?
Oh, see, Melee is so friggin' bad at puzzles. You have no idea. We are going to be here for 3 hours.
It's fine. This is fine. This is beautiful. This is perfect.
I don't know. She'll try and spread her wings and see if that maybe answers the question.
You push your wings out, and it takes a effort to command your body to react. And you can hear the women behind you begin to whisper, and you see one of them grabbing for the pendant around their neck, and they begin to say something that is hard to hear. And they, at the end of it, they shout, "I am a witch of the order." And as they say that, the darkness begins to kind of swarm around them for a moment, but you can tell it's not quite strong enough. What do you want to do?
Irene will say the same thing with them, and she'll line up with them and hold her pendant too. See if that makes it stronger.
You see, as you all are saying this request, the darkness begins to swirl and surge forward, and you see almost as if they're both tangible. As light and darkness hit each other in this field, and you can see the ground beginning to quake, and it seems to be equal. And as you, not sure entirely what to do, you feel a hand on your shoulder, and as you kind of look back to it, you see the face of grandmother, and she looks at you and she says, "You are so much more than you understand, but you have to declare who you are, or it won't be enough. It isn't enough to think you are something, you have to know." She says that, she fades away. And you begin to see the darkness beginning to be pushed back as this man with the crucifix gets closer. You see him saying another prayer, this time louder. What do you do?
Well, then if she knows she's a witch, then she knows that she's got powers of some sort. So she is going to try to channel whatever it is that maybe they're using, their kind of like primal power, their chants, since none of the like magey powers work. Maybe there's something in that like primal magic that will help.
Is Aaron trying to do it, or is she going to do it?
Aaron is going to do it. May is trying to do it.
And as you concentrate and you begin to feel the magic around you, you, instead of reaching out for it like you've been used to, you begin to command it to behave, command it to your will. And as you do so, the shadows around you become solid. And you look back to the women behind you and you see them begin to fade away. You see their skin becoming gaunter, and their bones begin to show and they become ashen. And as you look back, you see this field beginning to darken. And as this man with this crucifix approaches you, almost close enough to touch you, this vision fades. The field is gone, and you find yourself standing over Ari. And as you kind of look around, beginning to understand what just happened, you look down at your hands and you see there are burn marks. And you will take 1 point of aggravated damage. However, you have reached Arte 4.
Sweet. She will just look down at Ari, who is hopefully peacefully sleeping, and kind of like blink and shake her head, and then check her phone to see if the others are on their way yet.
So you check your phone, you realize for what to you felt like it could have been a few hours, but you find only a few minutes have passed. And as you look around, kind of at the areas around you, everything seems different to you. The world seems almost less tangible. And as you kind of realize what's going on around you, it takes some time for you to begin to process the change that has just happened. And I'm actually going to say, I think that is a perfect time to end our campaign for the evening.
What?
Woo.
What a scene. Wow. Nicely
That was
done.
awesome.
Yeah, that was
Very
awesome. Cool. Very awesome.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, I was speechless. So once again, thank you, Reed, for being such a wonderful storyteller and bringing forth this fantastic. First of all, this is campaign, but just that scene, I was just like, I wish I had a popcorn. I could be just popping. Camera, just like, man, I'm in the movies right now. I feel like that Michael Jackson meme at the moment. May, I felt your pain when you were talking about puzzles. I was just like, oh no. But the minute I saw this, like, what's your name?
So
I was,
bad.
yeah. I was like,
So bad at them.
sibling, we are siblings like that in real life too. Because when I first heard of that, what is the name? I was just like, oh no, oh this is a puzzle. Oh God, good thing this is not me.
There is a reason why puzzles for 3-year-olds is considered too difficult for your average TTRPG player.
So thank you, of course, to these fantastic players. Of course, Sharif, Michael, I'm sorry, for some reason, Diana, Super Dylan, May. So we're going. Our next section is essentially the last episode of 2021. From there, we're going to be taking a bit of a break, of course, to enjoy the holidays, and we'll be back in January. But until then, it was super exciting to see what's going to happen for our next episode. So until then, farewell for now.
Peace.